Good morning, and welcome to the second week of class. Um, this is the learning objectives message for the week, where I'll go over the schedule, take a look at the learning objectives for our chapter, make a few recommendations for y'all. Okay, I sent out a schedule just so y'all kind of know what's going on. I'm not trying to get y'all to keep to some kind of schedule. Okay, because the deal is obviously this is an asynchronous course. So this schedule is to let you know when I'm going to be releasing some stuff and to remind you of some due dates and things like that. There are a couple of points, obviously, where, like on Wednesday, I wanted to remind y'all that I am available from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesdays from now on. You can make appointments to speak with me during that time. You can drop me an email during that time, and unless I'm in a meeting with somebody, I'll get back to you really quickly. Um, so, tomorrow by 3 o'clock, I'll have up our recorded lecture, and I'll do that every Tuesday. At 3 o'clock, I'll put a recorded lecture up for where we're at in the chapter. Thursday at 6 p.m. is where I'm going to meet everybody for the next couple of weeks. If you want to come in for a meeting and ask questions about the course material, or questions you've been philosophizing about with yourself, or you can also during that time you can come in and you can introduce yourself to your fellows and see about getting a discussion going on some topic that you're interested in. At any rate, again, asynchronous course, you don't have to be available from 3 to 6 on Wednesdays. You don't have to be available at 6 o'clock on Thursdays. All of this stuff gets recorded, okay? On Thursday, when I have the Zooming into Fall with Maggie for your Intro to Philosophy course, I will record that. So if anything important happens, you'll know that it was there. Every Friday, the first week of a chapter, so like week 2 is the first week for chapter 1, the nature of philosophy, right? And that's where we're at this week, the nature of philosophy. We got our learning objectives for this. Well, while that's loading up, let me go back over here. Your learning objectives are today. Your recorded lectures Tuesday, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. I'm available if you need me. 6 p.m. is when we'll Zoom into Fall with Maggie. There's a link there in that announcement for the Zoom. Now then, on Friday of the week 1 is when your group discussion forum opens for the chapter, right? So right now we're doing week 2 and week 3. That's chapter 1. The first week of week 2, that first Friday, the group discussion forum will be due. That first Saturday of a chapter, the essay prompt will open up okay, so on Fridays your group discussion forums will open up for the chapter, the first Friday of every chapter, and the first Saturday of every chapter the essay prompt for the chapter will open up. Okay, by Sunday of the first week you should have completed your textbook reading in the chapter and any assignments that were due for this week, which would be your activator video, your lecture series video that's actually on MindTap, and your Apply assignments and your textbook reading. Okay, so that should all be done by this Sunday. fact, your learning objectives and activator video are due for tomorrow. But by Sunday, you should be done with your reading of the textbook so that you can actually jump into doing the group discussion next Tuesday. All right, so if your group discussion opens this Friday, the due date for the group discussion begins on next Tuesday. You make an original post to your group discussion forum for this chapter on Blackboard before 11:59 p.m. on next Tuesday, and then you have to have a reply by next Wednesday, not the next 2 days, but next week. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and just hop into the learning objectives, and we'll see about what all is expected for this week. Well, this week's learning objectives are actually getting us into the topics of our school, right? They're getting us into the topics of what we're doing. So there's some videos to watch and text to read so that you can kind of get an idea of what philosophizing is supposed to be about. You use the allegory of the cave from Plato's text, The Republic, and be able to kind of understand how philosophizing is a freeing activity, it's a liberating activity. Plus also what it means to think critically, what critical thinking is, and also why we need to open up the traditions of philosophizing to people who've often been closed off to it. Then there are traditional divisions of philosophy, epistemology, metaphysics, ethics, right? And you'll look through traditional divisions of philosophy to kind of get an idea of how each division looks at different kinds of philosophical issues and philosophical problems. You'll also work critically to get better at not making ambiguous claims and kind of understand the structure of an argument. Then we'll look at a philosopher in action, and usually the first one we look at is Socrates because he's really probably the most famous in history, and it's quite possible he even came up with the word philosophy. We're not absolutely sure, but certainly it was during his time in ancient Greece that the word came to prominence. And you'll get a better insight into who this Socrates guy is and why he's so important and why he's always been so important. But this will also be a period of looking at Socrates in order to learn how to identify premises and conclusions of an argument and things like that. Finally, we'll look at the value of philosophy. It's very difficult sometimes to see, why is philosophy valuable? Why is philosophy worth your time and effort? Sometimes it's difficult to see that even in times like a pandemic, where the ability to stop and think critically and think of others and think of your own health and do all of those kind of things and do them in a critical way, not in a destructively critical way, but in a constructively critical thinking kind of fashion where you bring in the evidence and you actually use it to help keep you calm and capable of dealing with the uncertainties of the world. And so for this, what you'll do is we'll get two thinkers, Plato and Buddha, and we'll get an opportunity to compare and contrast the two, and how philosophizing can help you build an outlook on life that's worthwhile. Okay, so just don't forget that everything that we do has a due date, and I just want to remind you that your learning objectives do not have anything associated with them But I have put a due date on there of like, no, there's not like an activity for the learning objectives that you'll be tested on. But uh, I have put the learning objectives. You need to have them looked at, overlooked, and kind of have them in your mind by tomorrow evening if you haven't already. The activator video is what are ideas and thoughts. You need to have done that pretty quickly. That is for a grade. You should have by Sunday. You should have read the sections out of the textbook, reading The Nature of Philosophy. So these are your little critiques and sections here. Should have those read by Sunday. Again, there will not be any. While this stuff, you're going to be quizzed on this stuff, and you're going to be using it for your discussions and using it for your essays. There are not direct assignments inside the text that will be graded. You're just told to be done with all the reading by September 6th, Sunday, September 6th, so that you can participate in the rest of the activities. Also, by Sunday, you should have the lecture video on Socrates done with its accompanying graded assignment, and you should have the chapter video for the OPLI assignments, not chapter video, but the chapter work for the OPLI assignments, What is Philosophy, done by Sunday. Okay, and this would be the period then starting next week, like I had said before, like I just said a little bit ago. This Friday, the group discussion that's due next Monday, that has the original post due next Monday, is going to open up. And Saturday, the prompt for your essay will open up. If you look ahead in the week, the original post for your group discussion has to be up next Tuesday before 11:59 p.m. And your substantive reply to at least one of your colleagues in your group discussion has to be up by next Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. And then next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but the one after, the 12th of September, your first essay is due. And then notice here you come back to finish out these 2 weeks. You'll come back and we'll do the quiz for Chapter 1, The Nature of Philosophy. All right, so that's the end of this message for your first official week of really doing philosophy work. Get in there and pay heed to what it is that you should be doing this week. Okay, do your learning objectives today or tomorrow, and do your learning objectives today or tomorrow, and do your activator video before tomorrow night, and finish your readings and all the other assignments that are due before Sunday, so that you can get ready to do your discussion and your essays next week. All right. This is Maggie signing out, and I'll talk to y'all a little bit later.